We are back now with that teenager charged with murder in the shooting death of a convenience store clerk in Humble. He is scheduled to be back in court today.
So this all started essentially over a bag of chips. We're told the teen was inside the store, stole a bag of chips, left the store, and the clerk actually left, got in his car to follow them, and that's when he was shot. It seems likely that 17-year-old, or actually at this point we do know, 17-year-old Mario Young is claiming self-defense in this case. So this morning we have criminal defense attorney Casey Garrett here joining us this morning. Good morning. Thanks for being here.
Good morning. Thank you. So
we know Texas has a stand your ground law here in the state. How can you prove self-defense in this case? Because obviously we were just saying the clerk was following the teen when he was shot.
Sure. You know, what's tricky about these cases as they come in like this is we don't have all the information. Yeah. There's a couple of things that could be at play here. The clerk was in a car. These teenagers appeared to have been on foot. You know, if there's some evidence that comes up that they were being chased by the vehicle and felt in fear, that's one thing they could respond to with force. And then these allegations that the teenagers have put forth that the clerk was armed and shot first. We don't have any evidence of that yet. Time will tell on that, if there was a gun found in the car or if there's proof of any other gunshots from a gun that the clerk might have had, but of course that would definitely trigger self-defense.
I meant to add that they said that the clerk pulled his gun on them first.
Sure, but time will tell. Right. We gotta find out if there actually was a gun on the clerk or in his car.
So if they were being followed and if they can prove that he had a gun, what do the teens need to show then in that moment? Do they just need to prove that they were in fear and that may be enough?
Well, yeah, there's a lot of things that go into it. First of all, backing up just a bit, the clerk had a right to try to recover the property. Now, the issue, of course, for all of us is it's a bag of chips.
Right.
And that kind of changes things a little bit. But should it? You know, that's the question. If you're stealing somebody's property, you should expect to be pursued. And you have a right to recover your property. You have a right to pursue somebody for your property. What you don't have a right to do is use excessive or deadly force to recover a bag of chips in the middle of the day. And so, to answer your question, the teenager would have had to have felt in fear, have a reasonable belief that force was immediately necessary on his part to protect his own life. So there would have to be some show of deadly force by the clerk, such as a gun or the vehicle. Depends on the facts as they play out.
I know we're talking about self-defense here. Is there a difference when it comes to a public place versus somewhere that's private?
Not really. I mean, you have a right to defend yourself against force or deadly force wherever that may happen, in a bar, in your home, on the street, in a store. If you have a reasonable belief that force is immediately necessary to protect yourself, you can do that, or to protect a third party. Again, what's missing here, what we will find out in the days and weeks to come, is exactly what transpired during the pursuit. The pursuit itself is okay as long as there was no use of deadly force. If there was, then you have a right to protect yourself.
And it may all be on video, and we don't know that. They may have all of the video evidence they need to prove their case one way or the other, depending on the side. What do you hope we all take away from this case? It is truly a tragedy on all sides.
It is. It is. The police chief said that. Here are all of these lives. You know, the impact crater is huge, right? They all have family members. The stakes are so high. I mean, the takeaway, it's difficult. It's the great, philosophical question, right? Do we blame the thief, or do we just say, hey, it's a bag of chips, de-escalate, I don't want this to turn into something crazy? I mean, you could argue both sides, couldn't you, right? I mean, what started the chain of events? The stealing, if that's in fact what happened, or the pursuit. It's a question. That's why we have juries and jury trials and a legal system that vets out those facts to determine, but bottom line is it's a tragedy all the way around.
Yeah, for sure. And I'm sure a lot of more information will come out on this on the days and weeks and months ahead.
That's
Casey Garrett, we appreciate you. Thank you so much.
You bet. Thank you, guys.